Hi, buddy. Hi. Lost my gate. Good morning, everybody. This is Brittany at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. Good morning, Karen and Deb. Hi, Sonia. We're here with Seth. Hi. Hi. So I'm trying to use the other stabilizer. We'll see how it goes. Kind of need to be lower. It kind of has a little bit of a mind of its own. Good morning, Scott and Amy. Good morning, Rochelle. We're here with Seth. Good morning, Cindy. Hey, Kayla. Keeping my distance so he doesn't get too crazy. Good morning, Carol. Sethy, don't you do it. Slow stalking. Hey, Leanne. You better stop that. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. No. All right. That took all of 2 seconds. Okay. So what I wanted to do this morning, and forgive me while I'm trying to fix this fence here. You are naughty. You're not supposed to chase. What I was hoping to do is check in on some of the cats that we saw last week. Forgive me, I'm also on foot, so there's going to be some walking involved. But I want to check in on Max Bobcat and Andy Bobcat since they were seen recently in the hospital. And then I was hoping to show you some of the bigger cats today, since we saw a lot of littles yesterday. Seth is so naughty. Just don't like to feel like I'm egging him on, so. Before breakfast time is prime time to be pouncing at me. Oh, of course Hoover's laying in his den. He was up moving a few minutes ago. Thank you to anybody who's sharing this feed and will be helping in the comments. It's very, very chilly today. I think it's in the 40s, mid 40s right now. It's only supposed to be like a high of 66 today. Thank you, Kathleen. Good morning. Pretty morning though. Oh, thank you, Scott. There's Mr. Max. Very pretty morning. It's just cold. Maxie. So you can see Max Bobcat's back outside. I think you guys saw, I think Carol went live when they brought him and Andy back out. He had some dental issues that were taken care of last week. He's doing very well. He's back outside. He's eating well. Hi. Morning, Cindy. Where's Marianne? Him and Marianne always kind of have a little bit of distance between them anytime they've been separated for like hospital visits and then come back out. We kind of slowly reintroduce them back to each other because she can be a little aggressive towards them. Hi. And she's actually not even, oh, here she comes. Hi, Marianne. Hey, girl. Hi. Here we go. You come over and try to pee on me, probably. So this is Max and Marianne Bobcat. They're very excited for breakfast time. That's why they're pacing back and forth.
You finally got your fluffy coat back.
Oh, yep.
That's what we're trying to do, is pee on the camera person. Hi. Hi, sweetness.
Yeah, we feed, thank you Mirza for your donation. We feed the cats once a day, usually between 8 and 9 in the morning. So Max was just in the hospital, and that's usually when we get our most accurate weight. And he weighed 33 pounds, and you can tell he's a very big bobcat. So typically between 20 and 30, I would say, for adult bobcats. Servals should be more around 30. But Des, who was also just seen in the hospital, was 40 pounds, and he is a big, big serval, but also overweight.
Are you talking? That's Max talking.
Hi. Gotta always keep my eye on Marianne. She's the one that likes to pee on me.
She does it to everyone, though. Do it to everyone.
Those little bobcat tails. So adorable.
All right, kids.
So there's Tiger Lake and the bridge. And I still don't see Hoover up and moving. So let's go over and see if we can get a glimpse of Andy Bobcat, who was also seen in the hospital last week. She is a very old bobcat. She's not grooming herself very well. She had a lot of really intense mats on her back. So that was the main reason we took her in, but also just a overall checkup. Her blood work looked really good for her age. And we'll make our way out. I'm hoping to show you some of our girly tigers. Maybe make our way out to Cameron and Zebu. I'm on foot though, so just bear with me.
Hi, Miss Andy. Back in your favorite spot. Hi, sugar. Hi, sweet girl. Hi.
Yes, our vultures have been back in full force this week, and we always have bird watchers that go out with the feeding routes when it gets bad like that. So the radio call you just heard about paintball guns, we fire blanks at the vultures to scare them away.
Hi. So this is Andy Bobcat.
Look how pretty she is. Good morning, Kathy. You can learn all about each of the cats at bigcatrescue.org/catbio. This is Andy, spelled A-N-D-I. Good morning, Jenny. Both Jennies. Good morning, Rhonda. So the keepers are heading out to feed. You can hear the food carts. Hello, Stella. Welcome. This is Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. That sweet little bobcat tail you just saw is Andy Bobcat.
Hi, sweet girl.
She's gonna go the long way to get her food and lock out. Stretching while she walks. I always said that Andy Bobcat kind of does like an army crawl, because she's always been very like shy and elusive, and she'll kind of like almost borderline crawl across the ground. You can see she can walk through that guillotine door into another big section of her enclosure.
Hi, lady. You gonna come talk? Hi.
You can see we had to do a pretty terrible shave down on her near her little rear end and her back. She's like, I'm gonna wait in my den until somebody with actual food shows up. And goes Dylan with his paintball gun. Yep, vulture watching. I just explained that that's been really bad this week. Alright, you're welcome, Kate. Thank you for joining. It's very chilly. Everybody's whining today, and I know it's much worse in other places, but we're big sissies here in Florida. It's in the mid-40s. So now we're gonna head out and see some big cats. If you missed the live yesterday, it was hilarious. Riza really put on a show. Make sure you go watch that. I've never actually seen her like that before, so it was pretty amazing. Miss Gabby. It's my husband, Mark, feeding Gabby. He's here rolling around. Oh, Gabby!
Is Mark feeding you breakfast?
Maybe. I think most of you guys have seen before that Gabby's very sensitive and skittish when it comes to her feeding lockout.
Hi, lady.
And we know it's because she's had multiple vet visits since she arrived, and that means we've had to trap and transport. So she's got a little trauma with that. So we're gonna give her some space. It's Miss Gabby. She's very excited in the beginning, and then she usually gets spooked about halfway through and goes running out of lockout. Then we pick all of her food up and wind up stick feeding her. So it looks like Mark and Victoria must be feeding the back route, which is all the tigers. This is gonna show you guys Keisha and Kali, and then maybe make our way out to yeah, Priya and Cam and Boo. Both girls are up and moving. I can already hear Priya. Good morning, everybody. If you're just joining, we're gonna say hello to Keisha and Kali here at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. Hello, Laura and Mohammed.
Are you guys chuffing to each other? This is Keisha. Good morning, sweet girl. Mooing. Hello, Adriana in Germany. Thank you, Bella, for helping with Lynx. Miss Keisha. Alright, I'm showing you too, Miss Kali. Best chuff in the sanctuary. Ooh. Are you waiting on breakfast?
So all the cats are just waiting on breakfast. The feeders are out and about, so they get very excited. About 5 minutes after they eat breakfast, they sleep for like 20 hours. So this is our best way of showing you the cats up and moving and active. Keisha, I believe, already got her medicine and breakfast. Brittany, that's a great question. It's also always our #1 question whenever we show Keisha. Keisha came from a terrible little roadside facility where they housed her next to lions with a shared wall, and the lions ripped off her tail, part of her ear. Her stripe pattern doesn't match up super well on one of her legs, so there was probably some trauma there as well. So you'll notice about our sanctuary, we have cats that are next to each other, but they never have a shared wall. They cannot get to each other. And you can learn her sad story at bigcatrescue.org/Keisha. Kali has a slightly better story, but she was still born in a transport wagon instead of being a wild free tiger like she could have been. You should have been, huh? And that's bigcatrescue.org/Kali. Oh, so much to say today. Hi. You're sounding like Priya today. She's a little less chuffy and a little more whiny. Hi, lady.
Get a little bit better view of you.
Yeah, Keisha's had a real comeback story a couple of times in her life. Over the summer, she actually, we believe, suffered a stroke, and she had pretty significant head tilt, and she was very weak, and we really did think we were losing her. And she has...
You have just fought back, lady. Yes. You're a very good girl.
You're a very, very good girl. That's why she's so skinny. A lot of our cats have had really poor nutrition most of their life before they came here, either in private ownership, pay-to-play schemes, cub petting industry, just very abusive situations. And they usually come to us much older, and then we wind up dealing with the aftermath and all the health issues. So you can see Kali came all the way up to her feeding lockout. So if you see this box that's off the side of the enclosure,
Are you chuffing again?
you love your chuff. The box that's on the outside here, that is Kali's feeding lockout. So when Mark gets over here, he'll pile all the food in on that slab, and then we'll open this door here that you see, and she'll be able to come in and eat her food.
Hi, Kali. You gonna get breakfast soon?
Thank you, Alyssa, for re-explaining that story. I know if people are just joining, they've missed that I usually just said that information. You guys can always watch our Facebook Live replays if you go to facebook.com/Wildcat Walkabout.
Hi, that's a good chuff.
That was a very good chuff. So that noise she's making is a chuff. It's like a tiger hello. She's very good at saying hello.
Yes, you are. Hurry up, bring breakfast.
Thank you, Malin, for your donation. That's very kind of you. We are a nonprofit. All of our ticket sales, if you come here for a tour, or the merchandise you buy at our gift shop or our online stores, go to the care of the cats. 100% of your donations go to the cats.
All right, lady.
Oh, Keisha's on the move. She's also up in her front section. All of our cages are designed with multiple bubbles that are connected by tunnels and doors, so we can shift them around if we ever needed to go into an enclosure, because we don't go in with them.
One more view of our pretty girl. Oh, that's a feeding cart. That is a very exciting noise. She just doesn't realize he doesn't feed her.
Marie is out doing the morning meds and feeding an Outback, and she's the one that feeds Keisha. And if she didn't eat the first time, then she'll come back at the very end. So we'll try this. I don't know. Kali is a little hit or miss with people watching her eat. She's on the feeding tour, so she's used to like a lot of people, but with me, sometimes she'd rather chuff and rub than actually eat. So if she doesn't start eating, we'll walk away.
Hello, everyone.
They've all said hi to you when you were at Gabby.
Oh, okay. Well, I say hi back.
Good job, lady.
So you can see, so Mark will remove the chicken wire, which the chicken wire is there because the vultures that I was telling you about earlier. So she got a huge slab of red meat. We feed a variety of food here. About 500 pounds of raw meat a day is thawed out to feed the cats here. And depending on their activity level and age and special needs, you can see the food is in there, the door is lifted, and then she can come in and get her food. So I'm going to be quiet because I don't want to distract her. Feeding Priya too. Yeah, when she gets a really big piece of meat like that, she does usually shake it.
Make sure it's dead.
No, my husband and I met actually when we lived in Columbus, Ohio over 9 years ago. We've been here almost 4. That was probably about an 8 or 9 pound slab of meat. And it didn't have any bone in it, so anytime you hear them eat something with bone, it's always eye-opening that could be your hand or your arm or your leg. Emma Zabu is 18 years old. Let her finish her breakfast. Let me go over and say hello to Priya. We might actually get to watch her eat breakfast as well. Yeah, so feeding tours are only on the weekends. I believe it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it's only in the morning because we only feed first thing in the morning. The night tours are usually quarterly now, I believe. It's one of our cubs. Hi! You're not really a cub. You're 13. Hi! This is Artemis. Hi! Just a quick hello, and then we'll go over here. There's one of our pesky vultures. And the night tours are like quarterly, and it's usually the last Friday night of the month. I think we've got one this month.
Hi, lady. I heard you're next. I heard that you were next.
So Artemis, who I just showed you, lives with her 2 brothers, Aries and Orion. It's actually, we'll get in a position where Mark can come over and feed her. She gets a little spazzy at breakfast time. So we'll see how it goes. She's very tunnel vision for breakfast. Thank you, Greg, for your donation. So same deal, she has a lockout, the door is closed. Mark will get the food safely in there. And then open the door for her. The best way that I've learned to tell the cubs apart, because it varies at different times of the years, Aries will get bigger and then smaller, and they grow in thicker fur, and then they lose that fur, and at times they can all look very similar, but Aries is the biggest of the 3 Cougars, and Orion is next in line, and then Artemis is the smallest. they all have different sounds that they make. So they're chirping, especially at breakfast time. So it looks like Priya also got a big slap of beef today, so we call it red. This is Priya Tiger with her breakfast. Yeah, for some reason Artemis is a higher pitched chirp. Oh, taking it away. So during feeding time, this is one of our best ways to observe the cats. She's a little spooked that we're standing here watching. It's the best way to observe the cats. We can tell, are they chewing on both sides? Are they walking on all four paws correctly? She's a little freaked out that we're standing here. So we are going to walk along the back side here. This is often why I hardly ever actually follow feeding. The cats just get too distracted. It's usually one feeder or one or two. They stand for a minute or two and then they walk away and watch from a distance. So with me standing here talking, it gets a little distracting. So we're gonna walk down the back side of Priya's enclosure, and I'm hoping we'll get to end with Zabu and Cameron. So if you guys are just joining, we've been live for a while. We started out with Seth for a hot minute, so he got rowdy. We saw Max and Marianne. We checked in with Andy Bobcat. We made our way down. We saw Gabby for a second. We hung out with Keisha and Kali. Watched Kali have breakfast. We just left Priya. Now we're walking. This is Cameron and Zabu. And they're open air enclosure. I believe they're in the roof section though. So we're gonna go around the corner. I already see Zabu. She stands out like a sore thumb. And she's running in circles. You guys running in circles today? Do you think that food is for you, sir? Hi, boo-boo. No, you stay down there if he has food. No, stay down there. You let him eat that food. You stay right there, lady. No, Zabu. So it looks like Cameron's got himself a piece of meat. I know Marie was just over here. Obviously why they were chasing each other around the den. Good job, buddy. That was very good. So Cameron's been doing pretty good. From my understanding, he's getting more and more interested in eating around lunchtime. Between noon and 2 is when people like Catherine and Afton have had the most success. Good job. Here's Boo Boo. So this is Cameron Lion. He is a male lion, but he has been neutered in order to not breed future generations of cats living their whole life in cages. And because of that, the mane is testosterone driven, and it did fall out naturally. Yeah, I agree, Ginger. That was very impressive that he ate that piece of chicken off the ground. Cameron is notorious for if it touches the ground or even gets presented to him in the wrong way, he will not eat it. Reese, we do not breed because we don't believe in breeding for life in prison. If you breed a cat in a cage, it can never be set free. So despite any conservation efforts that tell you, oh, we're breeding to conserve them in the wild, well, there's no possible way, because you can't set them free if they were born in a cage. And we don't do any kind of public interaction or cub petting or any of that terrible stuff, because these cats just get trapped in cages their whole life. So it's not fair to them. They should be free. But the thing with Zabu is white tigers are a man-made species. They're not endangered. They're not a special breed. They're actually man-made through inbreeding. And so they're born with a lot of health defects generally.
Boo-boo. You were a very good girl. Thanks for being sweet and letting Cameron eat that.
So Zabu is no different. She's got really terrible set of teeth. She's got a hair lip that doesn't cover or protect her teeth. So yeah, white tigers are a man-made species. They don't need saved. They actually need to stop breeding them, because those poor things suffer so badly from digestive issues and tons of health defects. Thank you, Deb, for posting that link. If you want to learn more about the live white tigers, you can go to that link. They were housed together initially because they thought they'd try to breed a really terrible hybrid called a white liger, but Cameron and Zabu never did breed. Well, white tigers are regular, like, orange tigers that are just bred back within their own family, so inbreeding. And so a lot of them will still be born orange, which if you're trying to breed for a white tiger, those orange cubs become throwaway tigers. That's not what they were trying to do, so they end up in canned hunting. Does anybody understand what that is? Canned hunting was a terrible thing that I learned when I came here. I had never heard of it before. But anytime that hybrids are bred, or they're trying to breed for something specific and the cat comes out normal, or the cub petting industry where they breed cub after cub after cub, take them from the mother immediately, they let people pose for photos with them for about 12 weeks of their life, and then after that, oh yeah, Jamie, the one in Myrtle Beach is one of the worst offenders. Never ever pay to play or hold or feed a cub of any kind, lion or tiger. It's just a terrible, terrible thing. Those cats end up in people's basements and backyards, and then the canned hunting. So canned hunting is where people pay tens of thousands of dollars to shoot the lions and tigers within a closed area as a trophy. Which is just cowardice.
It's just terrible, Cam.
I was really hoping, since he just ate, he would start calling. Hey, Afton. So your boy here just ate a piece of chicken off the ground as I was approaching. Yeah. You can learn the backstories of all of these cats at bigcatrescue.org/catbio. Yeah, well, Robin, these are animals that are designed to roam hundreds of square miles a day, and because they were bred and used and abused by humans, and they can never go free, you know, they've got to get that energy out somehow. We give them as much space as possible. When I walked over, we walked their entire enclosure. Everything as far as the eye can see is what they have access to. But it's breakfast time, so they're excited for food. Marie is the keeper that's feeding an Outback, and she's all the way down there, and they know it. So they've got to get exercise. I mean, they're cats, so they sleep like 20 hours a day. But first thing in the morning, they're the most active. You've got to get the energy out.
Cam. You gonna roar? He's got that I'm gonna demand attention look.
you guys are just joining, we've actually been live for quite a while now, so go back and rewatch it at facebook.com/Wildcat Walkabout. This is Cameron Lion and Miss Sabu.
Hey, lady. You were a good girl letting him eat that chicken.
Cameron's actually notorious for a handful of times I've done a live. I come out, I end with them because they're one of the closest cats to my office. And as soon as I'm walking away, he starts roaring and I've already turned the camera off.
Yes, you can see that Zabu is definitely not starving. She is not a picky eater. She does very well.
So Cameron is always the one that we're most excited about when he eats.
Just letting Cam be Cam, aren't you?
Yeah, she'll always tell you she didn't get treats or food. Energetic today, which is awesome. I know everybody's like, I don't like to see him pace, but my gosh, I just like to see him move at all. This is actually kind of awesome. So, and again, you're only seeing a portion of their enclosure, and it's only what my camera fits on the screen. So you can learn all about our cages at bigcatrescue.org/cages.
All right, sir. I think we're gonna call it a day.
So thank you to everybody who shared this. That helps us reach new people. And we really appreciate the 3 of you that donated. Thank you to everybody helping answer questions in the comments.
All right, sir. Tell everybody to have a good day.
He's just so handsome.
So handsome. It's so nice to see you up.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you. I hope you all have an awesome day. I was really hoping that'd be the cue where he started roaring. It's like if I fake him out that I'm not recording, maybe he'll do it. All right, everybody. Take care.